How's it going, everybody? I wanted to do a quick overview of my Kriss Vector. So I'm going to start by talking about why I bought it, and that kind of explains some of the modifications that I made to it. The first thing that attracted me to the Kriss Vector is that it takes Glock mags. So at the time that I bought this, which was in 2021, last year, I had a Glock 17 that I was carrying every day, and yeah, I had no idea that the Kriss Vector took Glock mags, and I was like, be pretty cool to have cross compatibility there. So that was attractive. Also, at the time, it was very difficult to get ammunition. Those two things, coupled with the fact that my only exposure to firearms before this is through my everyday carry, concealed carry handgun, and through rifles that I used to hunt. So between hunting and just daily carrying a handgun, I've never had an AR. I still don't. Especially with everything that's going on in the country in the past 2 years, I think a lot of people have thought about, if shit hits the fan, what am I going to do? How am I going to protect myself or my family? What's that scenario look like for me? What am I going to do? Et cetera, et cetera. So I wanted something that was practical for me to shoot and practice with, because I've never had a carbine format firearm before, and something in 9mm made a lot of sense to me, given that it's usually a lot cheaper to shoot than 5.56, and also I have rifles that I can use at longer ranges. If I were to need defense at that long range, I have those weapons already. So this sounded like a fun, cool thing to get into. There are a couple really weird things about this package that a lot of people have talked about. So I just wanted to go over my setup and talk about how I've kind of navigated some of those oddities. So the first thing is, and I'm gonna go tip the butt here because I don't know if the viewers here are Grand Thumb fans, but he's kind of the best at gun reviews, so I'm gonna copy him. I hope, yeah. And it definitely seems to be the best way to do it. So gonna go tip the butt here. First of all, this is a 16-inch barrel, maybe a little bit over. If you see these guns on the internet or anywhere, you'll see it as in this form with the shroud on it. And just a couple days ago, I took this off. I was just practicing target acquisition shooting. Going left to right, whatever. Firing at one target, then the next, and I was like, first of all, this thing's chunky to begin with, and I was like, do I really even need that shroud on there? And the answer is no. It doesn't do anything. I just put it on the scale. Yeah, this weighs 10.6 ounces. So I've taken this off. I don't see any use for it. It's definitely not a suppressor. People ask me at the range, they're like, is that like a massive suppressor? No, it's not. So there's no real use to having it on there. And in fact, when I first bought this gun, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to package my light and all these things on there. I got a angled foregrip. Where'd that go? Got an angled foregrip when I got the gun too. I was like, those things look pretty cool. So I got this rail, $150. Definitely shouldn't have spent that. From Kriss, from their website. And what this rail does is it slides in right here and bolts into the gun, and then you just have more rail space. Well, that also, I ran that for like a month maybe, and then I took that off. I was like, that's just not necessary weight to have. So that came off as well. That's no longer part of my setup. Part of the reason I put that rail on there is because there is a very strange There's a very strange, and by the way, we're clear. The bolt's locked back. There's a very strange magazine release situation going on with this gun, and it's basically due to the fact that this takes handgun magazines. It takes Glock magazines. So on a handgun, the only place to put the magazine, or the best place to put the magazine release, is right here. If this was a handgun and you're shooting it, that's the best place to put it, so you can reach your hand around your dominant hand and hit that magazine release. Well, when you have it in a carbine, they didn't add any material past the magazine release. So if you try to grab this right here while you're shooting, you're going to depress that that release with your hand while you're shooting, and it is the biggest pain in the ass. So what Kriss has done is they offer an angled grip that you can buy from their website for $25. I think that's insane that they have designed this with that design flaw, and then they want to charge you $25 for the solution. Like, that's just completely insane. Also, this carbine costs I think $1,500, even more after taxes and your shipping and whatever else. So for $1,500 for a 9mm, that's a lot of money to pay for something with such a big design flaw like that. Okay, so so what I've done is I've gone and 3D printed a grip. I've done many iterations of this grip. It's going to change even more. I'm going to shorten it up. Shorten it up so it fits and isn't any bigger than it needs to be. Right now it's bigger than it needs to be. But so the grip situation is very strange, but I've kind of gotten it nailed down to where I like it. If it weren't for this situation with the magazine release, this would kind of be a comfortable way to hold the gun. Like, it's just the right thickness to get a really solid C-clamp grip on it, and then even with the front sight flipped up, same deal. You can just stick your thumb in here. Really nice. I wish I didn't have to put this grip on here, so I would have all that real estate to grab flat with my hand. That would be wonderful. However, I can't. So that's just what it is. So yeah, that's that whole situation. This is the bolt release. Nothing really to add on there. This is your charging handle. I do like how that just folds in nicely. If it didn't fold in, it'd be a problem for your palm when you're going to get a C-clamp on there. Okay, let's talk sights. I'll skip the light for now and just talk about sights. These are the polymer flip-up sights that come with the gun. They're decent. I like them. On the back you have two, I don't know if they're diopter sizes, if that's the right term, but two different sized peeps in the back, which is really nice. The larger one for closer range stuff for easier acquisition of the top or the front pin, and a smaller size hole for better accuracy at longer distances. Just flips like this. I've seen this on other AR sites before. Pretty nice. I like it. So, and they're both adjustable. Elevation in the front, windage at the back. Kriss does sell a metal version of these. I think they're like $100. I assume that they're made in the USA. The gun is made in the USA. But yeah, the sights I don't have a problem with at all. And the way I have them set up is the flip-up sights are sighted in for like 50 yards and in. The EOTech is sighted in for around 100 yards for the most part, is how I've kept it. And this is the red EOTech with the ring around it, the holographic, the most popular version, I'd say. And with that ring, you can kind of adjust, you can aim high or low. I haven't totally sorted that out yet, but so yeah, the reason I went with this EOTech is because I think, again, in a bug out situation, AA's are the easiest to find. I don't have a lot of those CR batteries, whatever the other ones are used for the smaller version. That version is also more expensive. It's another reason I went with this version, but I don't know if I regret that in retrospect. Those little CR batteries, they last like 10 years in storage, so I could just buy a bunch of them, and then I'd have a lighter and smaller package, which with the amount of weight that it sits out about 1.5 feet from your shoulder with this gun, I would like to have gone with the lighter version, cut down on all the weight with this platform. I'm going to talk about my light here. This is the Cloud Defensive Owl. I chose it because it's made in the USA on Haas equipment. I saw that on their website and I was like, I'm sold. That's really cool. Seems really bulletproof. I like that there's no wires. I was really attracted to that setup. There's no wires. It's all one piece. And it's tap once to turn it on, and tap once to turn it off, or press and hold. As soon as you let off with your finger, it'll shut off. So that's a cool feature. It seems really bulletproof. If you go to the website, they have blemished versions that are still totally functional. If I build another platform, I'll probably go with one of them. It is $400 for a light. It's a lot, but yeah, it's one rechargeable battery. Comes with a charger and all that. So yeah, I like it. The stock I'm pretty happy with. It's just a typical AR stock. It's not Magpul. It's I think it's Kriss's own design, but I have no problems with it. I have a Galco gun leather strap. This is not a fancy sling. Excuse me. This is not a fancy sling by any means. It's not like a quick adjust or whatever you call it, quick tension adjust sling or anything like that. Just typical. Which I don't mind because I don't really need it to be any different tension ever. I just keep it right at this comfortable level, and the nice thing about, this is true on any adjustable stock firearm, but if you have your sling mounted back at your stock, when you pull when you extend the stock back, you have a little bit more room to play with. When you pull it forward, it's your full loop here is a little bit shortened, so you can really get tight in. I do need to adjust the strap a little bit, but the gun is held together with these push pins, and you can replace those push pins with a sling mount. So and then that one's held in with a Allen key screw to keep it mounted in place. I've played around a lot with the location of this. I would like to have it further up on the gun. Try to do this without choking myself. I would rather have it at a location further up on the gun. However, that's not possible to have it right here because the charging handle, the sling would get in the way of the charging handle. Okay, so that's it. That's a short overview of my Kriss Vector CRB, but that's about it. Thanks for watching.